Hi, everybody. This is Allison from Cat Creations. How are you? Please like, share, subscribe, and help this channel out as much as you possibly can. If you get anything from my work, I connect the dot an epiphany, a mind explosion, a new book to read, a new author to explore, artwork to create. Please consider supporting my work. All the links are at the bottom of the description. Cat Creations 211 is my portfolio website. Go check it out. And if you're interested in purchasing anything, email me. Or you want me to commission you something, or just see what I have in stock, email me. 3D membership, soon to be 4, so I'll have 2 tiers. Is a really great way to contribute to my channel and help me keep myself afloat. It's a really great way to get channel member only content, which I do our oracle card readings once a week or as often as I possibly can. And you get free entries into raffles when I am doing them. Unfortunately, because of my circumstances, raffles are expensive shipping wise. So I am still looking into different avenues of how to get things out to people depending where you are. Sometimes it's cheaper to ship internationally than it is to do it within the States. Crazy, I know. Because of me not feeling 100% tonight, I'm in a ton of pain. Bad. I didn't have the best day at work either, not because of the kids, just I didn't feel 100%. And I'm really, really out of it tired in terms of like my eyes. So I was looking and trying to do a Blavatsky reading, and that was a major fail. So I figured let me just come and just revamp it into a Ponderings video. And what I would like to just chit chat with you guys about, tomorrow is Friday Night Live. I like to be lively for that. But today I'm just like, meh. How do you go about dealing with the meh when you're feeling junky? What do you do? Obviously we don't ignore our bodies and when they feel a little out of sorts. But for a lot of us, we go through phases of life. And I know females have and males do have this too. I'm not excluding you guys at all because I think you also have phases. But for a woman hormonally, like there's a lot of body changes. I'm going through one of the major body changes right now. It's driving me epically batshit crazy. Um, and it's not easy to navigate it at my age because I am younger than when people put these projections on shit. I'm not gonna lie, when I woke up and was in so much pain, and everybody just kept attributing it to dancing. Stop dancing so much, and you're too active, and you're hurting your body, yada 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 yada. Come to find out, no, that's rheumatoid arthritis. And then all the old people are like, well, you can't have arthritis. You're so young. Stop negating the shit that I'm going through and validating it. Yay. I'm kind of glad I'm out of that paradigm. Not to say that I'm not in pain, like obviously I'm dying right now. Like it was 40 something 6 degrees today. It was a little chilly for this time of year. I actually enjoy the cold. My body just has to get used to it. It's like the transitional seasons, and this is one of them that a lot of us are going to have some hard joint pains and stiffness, and oh boy. But there's something that's been plaguing me on my mind that I want to ponder about with you guys and just humble me a bit while I talk, and maybe I might resonate with you. If I don't, that's okay, but just expand your mind for a little bit. For more than the last, let's just say 12 years, 12, giving it generous time frame here. I've always wondered when people are talking about the ascension symptoms. Okay, so at a mitochondrial level, our DNA is activating. What does that look like? I don't know. We're getting pains. We're being told we're becoming crystalline. And, some people are seeing a little bit of evidence of that, but it's within a 3D mind struck, construct, mind struck. And when I say mind struck, it's really your construct that your mind is creating. The landscape that we are all configured in is a 3D model. So when people are like, oh, you're ascending or you're upgrading, I've said it myself. I'm a catalyst to this bullshit. We always have to discern, is it really your body breaking down, or is it something that medically you need to take a little bit of a charge for? We're still in a pendulum swing of being in many, many, many dimensional spaces and paradigms. And we got to just consciously remember we're still human. Regardless of the expansion, regardless of the consciousness that you bear and the frequency that you emit, we're still human. I was brought down into this level the last few days because I've been feeling funky and out of it for the last 2 weeks. Um, Mentally, physically, just not feeling myself. I'm supposed to be on a brink of a change. I don't know where that change is. And I just been asking a lot of myself and a lot of the universe questions. Obviously, I'm not getting answers to, but it's just interesting stuff to ponder. If the last couple of years were all, especially those in the spiritual land, we've been hearing you're upgrading, you're upgrading, you're upgrading, and yet like we feel like shit year after year. It's going to start becoming decade after decade. Okay, at what point is this just a farce? Is it a farce? The devil in me, the devil's advocate, the demon in me, that shadow aspect, that little CUNT, see you next Tuesday, is out in full force, but it's more of a I want to question the system on either end. At what point are we going to see anything? We're seeing things third dimensionally. Some of us are seeing multidimensionally. Great. Time is a construct that we literally have here. Okay, cool. I'm waiting. Yes, time has sped up. Yes, the Schumann does absolutely affect children and ourselves. Are we really upgrading? What's in your soul contract? I'm trying to pluck some cords and trigger some of you, and I hope I am. But what do you mean? We're not upgrading. What do you mean we're not becoming crystalline? What do you mean? What happens if you're already that somewhere else? Quantum mechanics, the many worlds interpretation. You already exist in all those realms. Bashar tells you too. You're already there. So what is the mechanism of getting to that stage? Is it your contract that you have to stay here for bullshit? Is it, well, it hasn't happened yet because disclosure has to happen. Well, we already know the truth within here. So why do I need a CIA agent going out there and telling us about the UFOs under the water when I believe it's already there. Why haven't they come yet? They've been here, so why am I waiting for them? They're here. Make it make sense and make it plausible to yourself and ask these questions. Why are so many people dangling a fucking carrot in front of you and making you chase it when the truth is already here and you know it? Why do you second guess yourself? These are the things that I ponder every day. When it comes to myself, and I'm very, very transparent with you guys, and many of you know that. Like every time I'm watching a tarot card, and I watch a lot of channels, the short, I don't watch the hour-long ones, but unless I really enjoy the tarot card reader or oracle card, they all do both for the most part, the people I watch. I respect them, but I watch a lot of not a lot of them to find the theme within all the cards being pulled. And everybody's like, "Oh, you're going to move. There's movement. There's change. There's change. There's moving, change." It's October 9th. Unless I get an eviction notice, which I can't be. I bought a house, or they come after me for not paying my property tax. Again, very highly like not chill. Um, because taxes are illegal anyway. Where's the move? Where's the door opening? It's not like I'm not putting myself out there. It's not like I'm not trying to open up doors and look at different perspectives and see different ways of thinking and ways of going about things and still coming up short. Am I supposed to be this humongous failure in the third dimensional construct meaning? Or am I just not where I'm supposed to be and I don't know in what direction to go? Um, Marine asked me, he's my mirror, and I appreciated the question he posed to me the other day. Is what I'm doing making me happy? When it comes to my job, I love my job as the educational aspect of my job. Am I happy? Not with the pay, not with the extreme amount of doing all day and not being given the backup and these kids getting what they need. But I'm doing what I do because I love the kids. I am doing a spiritual mission that I don't feel that I should be giving up right now. But it's not making me happy, and it's just barely making me get by. He was also imposing about this channel. Out of 4 years, I'm finally starting to like see some difference and I'm sticking with it. I love what I do here. It motivates me every day. It makes me happy knowing that I have something to come home to do that I love to do. Whether it be crafting on, and that's just recently too. I want to bring people the methods and things that I use to help me. That's not going to necessarily help you if you're not an artist or you're just not in that capacity. But in any way that you come and watch and sit, I want you to be able to relax and just like take a moment and stop thinking. Or if you're thinking, just not of your problems. And venture on how to convey better your issues or how to navigate around shit. It's not easy when not too many people are no longer wrapped up in the outside world's bullshit. It's not easy to have others understand you when you have experiences or you're seeing things that no one else can. You do question your sanity, you are in 3D. it's a tough aspect to sit back and go, okay, I just saw something and I don't think anybody else would believe me. But I get a lot of those people that call me, message me, and I had someone today message me about the moon and why did they see it in one part of the sky, and they went to sleep and woke up and it was in a completely opposite direction of where it was last night. And it would shouldn't have been in the air in the sky at the time that they saw it. Um, Mind you, yes, the moon does move in the sky. But when it's in one position and then it is in a completely other different directional position during the day when you shouldn't be seeing it after a certain time, one begs the question, what the hell is it? And I posed the question to the person that messaged me saying, well, in this reality, in this realm, they're asking us to look up to wake up. Are you now understanding the matrix, the simulated holographic universe that we live in? Is this a realm? And everybody's going to tell me a different answer based upon how you perceive your reality. None is wrong, but there is some semblance of truth intermixed with all these things. And truth is at a capacity of where your brain can comprehend it at. There is no right or wrong. We got and we're still in a humanity that believes in the Illuminati's bad. These people are the blame, and I am in the light. I'm right, and I'm a righteous person. Sure, you probably are. But if these people didn't do their fuckery, you wouldn't be awake, you wouldn't be aware, and your higher consciousness wouldn't necessarily not be high. It would just not perceive. So, when I went back at Marine about doing this, and because he's like, well, you spent a lot of time doing it. I'm like, yeah, but I'm happy. I'm content. I couldn't sit there to read a book because my eyes are just not able to do it, but I'm still awake and very much enthusiastically here because, yeah, I really don't feel good right now. But I'm happy doing this. This is my joy. I'm happy. I'm relaxed. I have my little heater on because it's a little chilly in the house. I don't want to put the furnace on just yet. I'm happy. Am I content in other assets and other facets of my life? No, not at all. But I feel like if we can all find that one thing that we love to do each and every day, what regardless if it makes you financial stability, I'm not a materialist. It looks like I am based off everything in my background, but I'm not chasing pipe dreams. I'm not chasing the Ferrari, the mansion, and the 10-piece suit. I'm not chasing any of that. I like living a simplistic life. I don't need much to be happy. I like to create. I like to read. I like to expand my mind in any way, shape, or form that doesn't require that much. I want you all to think about, or what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, making you happy, and what little changes can you make? I'm trying to figure out at this moment in time what changes I can make. My astrology, my everything is telling me changes on the way. I'm moving, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And it's, yes, for a collective of people, but I don't feel it for myself and I don't know why. I just, the feelings that I've been getting recently, obviously I'm being tested, obviously I'm being initiated. Fuck my life. But the question I even posed to myself is, for all the maybe now a decade that I've been listening to the spiritual side of things and being asked, Oh, well, what ascension symptoms are you going through? Oh, we're having the flu-like symptoms, and I'm having the ear buzzing, and I'm having a migraine, and my, tummy is not up to par. Okay, so how many years are you going to go without checking in with yourself to see is it ascension symptoms? I mean, really, what are you ascending to? Have you even thought about that? You're ascending, but to where? I want you to ask yourself that question. The light changed and my eyes shifted, by the way. I'm channeling. What am I channeling? My higher self and some interdimensional beings right now. We all talk about ascension, but it's such a blanketed term. Blanketed in the sense that there is no true meaning to what that is. I can ascend upon a mountain. I can ascend in physical density. I can ascend into another dimension. But once you get to that dimension, the physics and mathematics and that ascension definition changes. Where are you ascending to? What's the manner of your ascension? Is it in the physical? Do you know on your soul contract if you're physically going to ascend or are you going to consciously ascend? I'm asking some triggering questions because these are questions I've been asking myself. I'm ripping apart a lot of things because my soul is being challenged to know what is authentic to myself and how do I keep alive in this third dimensional illusion when I'm trying to get my authentic self to really like be the CUNT that it needs to be in order to kick my own ass out of my funk, or not even the funk, just out of like complacency. It's not because I'm complacent, because I've been putting the work in. I literally wake up at 5 in the morning and I don't go to sleep until 10, 11 o'clock. And there is not one moment during the day that I stop doing something that requires me working. The only kind of break that I get is when I'm hanging out with Marine. That's really my only time I get to literally. Even when I moved here, I was constantly putting things together and fixing up the house. I'm in constant doing. And I had taken some time to really like go inflect and sit in the tub and sit in my hot tub that's no longer functioning. Sit in nature, sit and do, but do in the terms of just analyzing and thinking. In the last few days, I had to ask myself, well, everybody's pulling you in different directions. Why am I allowing it? I put out my little bit of disdain for not having my schedule put into consideration. I get it. Like people plan on going away and the responsibilities with some people's households are extreme. And I just find it, if you're putting something on another person, you should be asking them if they're okay, not last minute, not kind of like when you already booked the trip. And I know that eventually that will get back and I will tackle that when they get back. They're my friends, but it's things of that capacity that I have to put my boundaries up. And it's not to say that I won't do something nice for a friend or I won't do things. It's just I would like my feelings and my schedule and my life to be put into consideration, as I would do that for anybody else. If I asked somebody to watch Freya, I would say, hey, like I'm planning on going on a trip. What are you comfortable in doing? Because that will determine how long I go away. Why? Because I'm putting responsibility on another person and they might not have the time to do it. Then I could go find another avenue to explore in order for me to go away in the time that I want to, but I am not there to inconvenience or to put conditions on people. And I only bring this up because it's something I need to work on. I think sometimes I'm too nice and people take my niceness for weakness, or they take it as, well, Allison doesn't have a life. She doesn't do anything with it. No, I'm working. I'm trying to thrive. I'm trying to survive. I'm trying to pay my bills. That requires work. Not everybody is lucky enough to stay home. I have to go to work. Um, and I hope one day that we redefine that terminology. I just don't know in what paradigm it's going to be in. If we all live in a construct that we're told that all forms of us exist in other dimensional spaces and we can merge with them, I couldn't imagine why the world hasn't already changed to a better place, because a lot of us are striving for that merger to happen. I know that somewhere there's an Allison out there, a dimensional space me that has it all already, that has the marriage, that has the house, that has, and it doesn't need to be this big elaborate thing. It doesn't. It's just the things I've always dreamt about, have always tried to capture, obtain, strive for, has always fallen through my hands. You know, Maureen made me question a couple of things in my own paradox. Like, okay, there's certain things in my soul contract that I needed to experience. And this life, I chose the harder fucking bullshit. I'm in the awareness of that. I understand it, I eat it, and it is what it is. At the same time, if more of us are listening to these higher formed, higher consciousness, Abraham Hicks, all these like brilliant mind psychologists and people that are really trying to coach you into a better paradigm, we're all taking that advice and we're still not landing where we need to be. Where's the blockage? If the universe isn't going to ever fail you in terms of like let you fall, then why do some people fall? Yeah, it's a part of their paradigm. But I always question, is that really God? Is that the universe? Or is it more than that? I like to question these things. It's not, going against God or the universe. It's just asking, like, does it really have my back? I have another paradox and conundrum to explore. I know I'm jumping around on different things, but this just popped in and I want to tackle that. If fifth dimension, fifth density is supposed to be us in a light body, then is the illusion in the third dimensional explanation of med beds and of ascension a farce? Is it exploitation? When I was posing that postulate earlier, that what is, asking what is ascension, what do you think about it? It's like a hopium. It's a carrot on a stick. What actually is it? Well, Allison, it's the expansion of your mind, and eventually you're going to physically change enough that your paradigm and the reality is going to shift. Or is it the ascension where you merge back with source? Or is it the ascension that you are in the space age, where you're living on a spacecraft with the aliens and whizzing by different star systems? Everybody's definition of what ascension is different. At the crux of it, though, the thing that I've been noticing in our paradigm, in the third dimension, third density, scope and sequence of things, why are you afraid of death? And why would you, unless there's a better answer for it, and everybody's going to have a different perception and different answer for something, but I want you to ponder these things, not with, you could judge it, but I just, something to think about. Honestly, think about this. Why would you want to live forever? In the physical body, in this vehicle? What's the motivating factor for you to stay here? Think about it. That Altered Carbon show keeps popping into my purview. If in our paradigm right now, like good and evil still exists, it's not going anywhere. Contrast is not going anywhere. Polarity, duality is not going anywhere. That's the experience we signed up for 3D. It's not changing. What changes mentally, consciously, is their viewpoint of it, how we're reacting to it, which brings us into fourth dimensional, fourth density, space, time, mind, and consciousness, which a lot of us already merged to. But we're still in third dimensional bodies. We're still, I mean, we could change our DNA. It's going to take a long time for us to go to light body. I'm already there. So there's the other paradoxical thing. We are already in all these other things fractally. And if we just merge our consciousness with those things, we would be there already consciously, kind of are semi. But the real question to ponder, there it goes, sort of. Why do we want to stay? What's your reasoning? Of course, we all have a contract. We will ascend or transcend, better yet, transcend when it's our time, our contract is up. Some of us may have extended contracts, but the human fears death. We get in such a state of emotional angst when thinking about it a lot, and I'm not talking about everybody, I'm talking about the vast majority of humanity. No, unless you already had a near death or have out of body, you're less likely to be comfortable with the concept unless, you're a Viking and go till Valhalla. Um, there's so many people that are hung up on this topic. And I think a lot of it is unconscious programming because there are many people out there that are so like, they'll tell you that they're fine with the concept, but then something catalyzes to test them and they're like in fear. That's what med beds brings to my brain. It's not to say trust me, I would love to go sit in something that heals and fixes my body. It is broken, not gonna lie. Especially in this time period that I'm going through right now, like right now, I feel like I'm being stabbed by a sharp object down there in the lady area. It's not pleasant. Not pleasant, but what am I supposed to do? My teeth. I can die at any moment because an infection can hit my brain. But that's the den you have to have money in third dimensional or resources or some kind of miracle to give you the aid that you need or be in debt the rest of your life. Like, so we're paying into systems to avoid other systems, to get into systems. I'm done with the rat race in the games. What are you doing? I have to readjust my camera. Hang on. Your consciousness can jump through time, suggesting gut feelings or memories from the future, scientists propose. So if enough of us were able to jump to the future, would we still be conditioned to catalyze and do our mission here? Would the world be as fucked up? Or would it be better because we all decided that we were done playing a game and having this shit experience? Whether it's like the most beautiful thing in the world or not, like anything could be better and will be better if we determine that outcome, and make it possible through everybody joining arms and going, I'm done. But we're not there yet. Are they just eating the loosh off of us continuously? That's something that I don't think a lot of people put into perspective. Um, when it comes to med beds and trying to heal and trying to do certain things, are you meant to heal? Are you meant to transcend? Maybe this is not the forever vehicle for you. I don't know if I want this vehicle to be my forever vehicle. This is just a vehicle that I'm expressing my sense of personality in the now moment. Maybe I want to be my angelic being, my light being, my maybe I want to experience my alien life. I don't know. But that negative polarity imbalance makes me question the motives of some of these far-fetched concepts that are starting to peep out into the ether near you when it comes down to longevity of life or like healing. If you weren't in pain and you didn't suffer, would it be easier to go through a death state? I'm not talking about, getting into an accident and having a freak accident or something like really quick in terms of a transcension of death. Would it be harder if you weren't in pain? Because you have more to live for, more to live on for, but at some point, even in Transylvania Sunrise, Moonrise, the guys who've been here and have like just escaped in a lapsed time, any of these fictional stories, whether they're fiction or not, these characters live for thousands of years. It gets tiring. The excitement not necessarily is always there. You see the fall and rise of civilization, and then you're like, I gotta be a nomad for a couple of years. Where am I going? I got to adapt again. It's a rat race. Do you want to be a part of that? I mean, it's fun in a book to read about it, but like have about experiencing it. Or would you be able to handle the change? Not just like I know many people have traversed a lot of the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and things have like just like beep in a snap. And things are changing even more rapidly right now. I don't know. I'm an old soul. I like the simpler things in life. I don't like all this technical navigating 5,000 clicks away and you finally fix and solve your problem, where back in the day you didn't have that problem. I just want you all to think about both sides, because I believe right now a lot of false light is happening. A lot of hearsay, a lot of they're coming, they're here. What do you believe in your heart space? What is true for you might not be true for me. What is true for one person might not be true for you. It's all based on the experience, but I know collectively, if we all like sat and really contemplated some of these questions, it'd put a little bit more clarity on where humanity is headed. Because if we're trying to head for the hopium of a machine healing all of us, and then all of a sudden we live a long time, but we're still in slavery, we're still being a battery for a system that is not necessarily, and the illusion is it's helping. The illusion is it's helping, but are we truly free? Or we're just under another spell? A lot of things sound fanciful and wonderful, but our linear time space can only tell. If more people would ponder a lot of these questions and paradigms and postulates and really thought about the modus operandi of the intentions that people are setting, the falsehoods, the years that are gone by at this point in time that we've all been waiting patiently, either not pay, oh, like silver and gold are hitting this high tide. Okay, that's great. It's not doing anything for me, and it's not doing anything for half of humanity that didn't hoard their shit. I had to sell a lot of what I had because I had no choice. So that once again, thanks for making me feel like a shitbag, because I don't have anything to really. Oh, but we'll be the one we help. But why aren't you helping now? That's always my go-to. I'm not afraid of death. Till Valhalla. It's ingrained in my soul. I'm not afraid to transcend. I'm not transcending anytime soon, but what I'm saying is I'm not afraid of that physical death. I've done it. I've been in that dance way too many times. I think that's really what is holding a lot of humanity back. They're afraid. And real fear is not something that's a frequency that's a bad thing. Real fear, fear of like or humanness is something that we're not going to overcome because we're human. We're human now. Look at the cycle of what it is to be a human. What's the definition of being human? And let's start there at those basic steps. Because when we all can't be, and I don't want anybody to be on the same definition of what ascension means to them, is not the same as it means to me. But there are a lot of people that follow to the T of a book. Well, this is how it's going to look for me. Maybe it's going to look completely, utterly different for you. How would you know? Ascension symptoms. Is there really a thing at this point in time? I've been having ascension symptoms my whole life. Is it just my physical body, just like saying, well, sure, you can eat clean and you can eat pure, but if everything is toxified and poisonous anyway, well, then I'm in a rat race of my own self. I'd rather live to enjoy and just do everything in moderation for my own senses. Are we taking this all too seriously? Are you taking the politics too seriously? These are things that I hope that you all start to ponder because I've been pondering this the last couple of days. Like, really, what is the definition of ascension? Because everybody's defining it differently, and I'm just now seeing, not now, but I've been questioning it, but like more so recently. If I know the aliens are already here, they've been here. We are also aliens. Uh, Next, okay, if we're gonna have all these cataclysms, are we just shifting and shifting and shifting so that they don't happen, or are we delaying them? What's happening? I don't know. Good question. Next. Okay, so if half of us are on 4D and we have five, six, seven, eighth dimensional space of mind, why hasn't our quantum entanglement actually fabricated itself already in 3D? If this has been decades of us wanting emerging and wanting emerging, those that had the higher awareness 10 years ago, if it's a like 5 to 8% of humanity that had to be in this higher awareness, like, is this the reality they chose for us to experience? These are the things that I question and ponder every day. They're logical and rational in its scope and sequence of, sure, I believe we're all moving up consciously. I don't think that we're not. I do. I think we're all learning our own processing of how we are moving and navigating through these very difficult times. And even if you're not having the materialistic difficulty, you might be having it spiritually, vice versa. I don't know anybody that doesn't have struggles in some form or another. But if we were able to quantumly entangle to a higher timeline where the highest, best version of myself, I'm fucked. And not to put myself down in any way, in 42 and a half years, I've already succeeded in showing myself, what am I here for? I don't know. I feel like a Vincent van Gogh where I do a whole bunch of artwork and never make a damn dime in my life. And now all of a sudden, after I have transcended, my name becomes a recognized form. You know, Maybe I am a fractal of him or some other famous artist that is famous to our standards, but back in their standard time, it was like, fuck are you doing, bro? That is shit. And now it's sold at Christie's for $5 billion. Just putting a number out there. It's very interesting to take these approaches in looking at what's going on right now with the energies, what's going on out in conscious land, in the ether, um, scrolling through the internets of things and really asking ourselves, if you don't fear death, that's great. You're maybe 2% of the population that will probably ascend in maybe there's no right or wrong course of action, but in a perceived way that actually makes sense to how some of these spiritual people are talking. If Bashar is telling us, and I believe this for my own self, that 5D is a light body, true 5 octave D is a light body, then you're not here physically. And if I'm physically changing to crystalline and becoming more of a denser form, I don't know if I want that. Could I actually handle that embodied? Well, it's really fucking painful if that's what's happening. Yay, more light to transmute, more shadow to transmute. Do I really want that work? All is great distraction, but it's a pondering to think, what if the motives of the things that want everybody to heal and feel better is only something that is a trap? Is it a trap? I mean, it doesn't need to be perceived that way, but I'm just asking the what ifs because I don't think too many people weigh that. I wasn't so thrilled. I didn't feel the right vibe when I discovered time crystals and how corporations are building and using technology not in the most humanitarian kind of way. Sure, do I want to see people heal? Do I want to see the babies that I work with every day have a chance? Absolutely. But is that what their soul wants? Is that what their soul signed up for? Is that the experience they came here for? I can't answer that for you. But I sure damn know that we are already living batteries for a lot of entities that don't have our best interests in mind. And that's not just on the dark side, that's also on the light. Just because somebody claims that they are a light being does not necessarily mean that their light is not false. There's agendas at foot from every civilization that is here and has been here that is not human. Agendas that not necessarily have the best interests at heart for all of us. I don't care at the end of the day what technically happens or not happens in the reality. That's up to the collective consciousness to determine that. I'm just one little sand droplet in the vastness of the ocean of consciousness. Sure, my little ripple can ripple in a little bit and help people see, oh, well, if you put it that way, maybe I need to think about this a little harder before I make a decision. At the end of the day, you're going to choose what you're going to choose. You're going to do what you're going to do, but at least you have more perspective to think about it and more non-limitation to go, oh, Shit, what if they're using the medbeds to harvest our energy? Maybe they want to keep us in the perpetual loop even further. Oh, if the moon machine, if there's a moon, and if the machine is a real thing, is a thing, maybe they transformed it to Earth. Chicken! I'm done with this camera. I don't know. Every time Zoom does an update or something, it's just like a pain in the asshole. And I don't look pretty today. I know some of you are gonna be like, no, you look great. No, I feel like shit. I present as shit because I'm just doing me authentically. But I just wanted to put some of these thinkings out there, ponderings. There's no way I was gonna be able to read a book tonight. Unfortunately, I love Blavatsky and we're getting to good stuff in her book, believe it or not. But I don't like to rain on parades, but I like to bring perspective on them. And what I'm seeing in humanity, the questions that I'm being asking of myself are actually worth speaking out to you all into the ether. I don't need answers so much so then I need the perspective of having them in the first place. What is right for me might not be right for you. I just don't like to limit myself and be on this train in one tracked way going, oh, look at the beautiful clouds. Look at the flowers, the pretty flowers. Anybody knows Walking Dead. Just look at the flowers. Pew pew. Hi, Carol. Is that what's going to happen? I hope not. I sit back in hesitancy with anything. We were kind of taught a lesson, and not necessarily all of us, but I think a large chunk of humanity got to be an experimental part of a bigger totality of what that did a couple of years ago. How many people followed the flock? How many people did not? How many of us divergent ones fell hard and hasn't really recovered since? How many people like are not here anymore? They transcended. That was their contractual out. Who knows? But we were in that structure. People really trusted the system. Now let's look at why would you trust the next system that comes in just because it's wrapped up in a bow and it looks beautiful? Would you believe it? Oh, because the one in Shining 47 said so. And I know many of us on the spiritual side are more mature than that, but a vast majority of people are not. They're still very in delusion land, looking at the one-way sided of what makes sense in their brain and what doesn't make sense in many other brains. And there's a compendium of conflict that's been occurring. And like I said, if we just look beyond good and evil, right and wrong, and said, okay, everybody's accepting of the opinions, great. What is walking a righteous path? And that's also a compendium of different perceptions and depictions that may not land with you. We're all entitled to having different perspectives and directives in life. What steers you isn't going to steer me. What opportunities land you might not land me. We all live different lived experiences. It's up to us to just do the best that we can in the now moment. I know many of us are. But it's interesting to ponder if more of us would be in a higher expanse of, okay, if that is my highest timeline, well, I'm pretty fucked at this moment in time. maybe, potentially. If we're always forever shifting, there really isn't a highest and best. It's only in the moment it's observed. And then there's something higher and best after that observed. I love conundrums. I love paradoxes. I love all this stuff. It gets you thinking. And it might not ever have an answer. It might be rhetorical, but at least it sits there and makes you stop to think. And if it doesn't, well, I guess I'm not your cookie. You didn't win the cookie. I'm going to leave the pondering here. I just want you all to start thinking different perspectives, analyzing, is this from a third dimensional perspective, a 4D or a 5D? Yes, our consciousness can go beyond five. Yes, even though we're living in a third dimensional realm, our consciousness has expanded quite a bit, and it begs to differ. Are we living in the paradigm, or are we just thinking about it and pondering these things? But regardless of wherever you are out in the wavelengths of resonance and frequency, be humble, be grateful. We are here for the now moment for a reason. A lot of us are going through a lot of initiation, a lot of testing, and a lot of patient trying, a lot of balancing of the inharmonious frequencies that are continuously being thrown at us every day. It's a matter of perspective, and it's a matter of looking deeper into what is being presented to you. How, what is every angle? And if you're not looking at every angle from both negative and positive, you might be missing something. Take the larger expanded picture in and at least open your mind up to exploring different things and different topics and different intentions and different scopes of thinking. So I will be live tomorrow. I don't know what time. I've been getting home rather late. I've been getting hit with traffic and I don't know. It is what it is, and I'll be here tomorrow at some point live. Um, Hopefully I feel a lot better tomorrow than I do right now. I look like shit, but we do every once in a while, and it's okay. I'm gonna go take a shower and meditate and put some music on and hopefully dispel some of this nonsense going through me inside. But until the next time, guys, sending each and every one of you love, light, compassion, grace, shielding and protective energy. Please go within because it's all residing within you anyway. Be the shoulders, be the lighthouse, sprinkle and seed your truths, light that path forward. I hope to see you all tomorrow. Come and hang out. This is just a short rambling and probably not at all coherent. And if it was, don't forget to hit the like, maybe subscribe if you haven't done so. And yeah, I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day wherever you are. And more to follow. Bye for now.